Welcome back to the Anger Man podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, we know that Canelo Alvarez will be facing John Ryder in May, and Benavidez was victorious over Caleb Plant. A lot of people have been calling for that fight for a very long time. We know that David Benavidez wants that fight. And recently, Canelo Alvarez was interviewed and said if he cannot get the Bivol fight, that he would entertain the opportunity to fight David Benavidez. And I mean, to a large extent, man, I actually believe Canelo when he says that. I actually believe it. I think, no, okay. We may have a difference of opinion on this one. I actually believe that he may fight David Benavidez. And the reason why I say that is because you could see where David could be outboxed, right? If you have the stamina, if you have the ability, I believe that Canelo Alvarez is a better boxer than Caleb Plant. Now the stamina may be a concern, but from an ability standpoint, I just feel like Canelo would be able to outbox him, avoid some of those shots, and I think he would probably be able to do it for longer than Caleb Plant. So I think he may be willing to get into the ring with David Benavidez, but in the event that he doesn't fight Bivol and he's unwilling to get into the ring with David Benavidez, at what point do we start to call for this guy to give up the belts, right? Like, you got to give up the belts at that point. If you're not going to fight Benavidez, who has been his mandatory, if I'm not mistaken, now for what? For a while now, right?
Years. Yeah.
I thought it was I want to say a couple of years. So he hasn't made that fight happen yet. But I honestly believe when he said, he's a good fighter and stuff, I actually believe Canelo. I actually think he'll take that fight. So, Jay, what are your thoughts on that? Is it time for him to give up that undisputed 168-pound title if he is unwilling to get into the ring with David Benavidez in the event that he does not get the Bivol fight next? Because he's going to fight at 168 pounds. Bivol seems to be interested in fighting at 168 because he wants to become undisputed. So that fight may materialize. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, the only reason I agree with you on that about Canelo possibly fighting Benavidez because Benavidez didn't look the greatest, early on.
Fight. I think he'll take that fight.
Now he will. Now Benavidez had going in and showing like he was a Mexican monster and gotten Caleb out of there in like 5 rounds. He would have said no way. And also with the Bivol fight, personally, he ain't deserving of a Bivol fight. He got his ass handed to him. That fight wasn't close. He got outclassed, outboxed, everything. So instead of holding those belts hostage at 168, fight your mandatory. You fought all the other mandatories. John Ryder's a mandatory, so why not fight David Benavidez? It's just I think he has, like you said, since Benavidez looked beatable in that fight, I think he feels a bit more comfortable with saying that, I fight him now. Instead of saying I'm not fighting any more Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Although he's fought several Mexicans in his career.
Yeah, that's right. He did make that comment that he doesn't want to fight another Mexican, but now he's saying he will fight him. So, I mean, that's a fair point.
And it bothers me when people try to say, well, look what he's done. I'm like, why did he fight Julio Chavez Jr.? That wasn't nothing. That was a mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a belt. He wasn't ranked to be worthy of a fight. So it missed me with that shit about, he always fights his mandos and he doesn't. No, he don't. He's selective. So, I mean, him wanting to fight Bivol, that's because he has a stain in his mouth, and it tastes in his mouth from when he got his ass kicked. He want to try and make right that ship, which I don't think he can, because I think Bivol is just a better fighter. So he might take Benavidez. If I'm Bivol, I'm not taking that fight with Canelo. I'm trying to fight Beterbiev to try to be undisputed at 175. Canelo does nothing for me. I've already been there, done that, outclassed him. So Canelo should fight Benavidez.
I totally disagree with you on that one. If I'm Bivol, I go down there and fight Canelo, the guy that I've already beaten. Get a shitload of money, and
I'm strictly talking about for like the belt. Money wise, of course you're gonna take Canelo.
No, but still. So if you go down and you beat Canelo and you become undisputed at 168 pounds, you can always move back up with once.
No. If it's at 168, I agree with you with Bivol because that's what I wanted from the get go. Bivol said he would come down to 168. Canelo supposedly wants to stay at wants to fight him at 175.
Canelo just recently said that he's gonna fight. He's staying at 168, so that fight has to be at 168.
With Bivol,
he said he's staying at 168. Canelo just recently said he's staying at 168. He's not going back up to 75. So I assumed that meant that he was gonna fight Bivol at that weight.
Okay, well, I'll take that back. If he's talking about fighting Bivol at 168, if I'm Bivol, I'm going down. Whip his ass at 168, get that quick, undisputed there, then take my ass back up 175 and fight Benavidez.
That's what I would do. I mean, his legacy would be cemented if he did that.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, no, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Now, if it's at 175, I ain't fighting Canelo again at 175. I've been there, done that. It doesn't. This does nothing for me outside lines my pockets.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit, that's part of the sport. I mean, man, listen, I'm totally for fighters making the most money that they possibly can, especially when it's a fucking big fight and it's a legitimate opponent. Canelo is a legitimate opponent in a big fucking fight. So I have absolutely no problem with Bivol wanting Canelo or Canelo wanting Bivol. Fuck, I want to see that fight. So I have absolutely no problem with either one of those. Now, do I want to eventually see one of those boys get into the ring with Benavidez? Absolutely. But I don't have a problem with any one of them going at each other. I don't have a problem with Canelo fighting David Benavidez next, Bivol next, Charlo next, Andre, any of those guys. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I've always felt, and I think you and I are on record of saying this, I personally believe that Canelo beats
all of them.
I think he beats all of them basically. I think except not Bivol. I don't think he beat.
Not Bivol.
Bivol's.
Hell no.
I don't think he beat Bivol. But I think he beats. I think right now I actually think he probably beats David Benavidez as well. I think he beats Charlo. I think he beats Andre. I've always said that. But I want him to get in the ring with them. He's avoided getting in the ring with them, and those excuses that have been made, they've been weak.
Very weak.
So it is what it is. So we'll see.
We can talk about that when we do a different video and talking about some resumes on some people.
Yeah. We'll do that. We'll talk about the resumes. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is going to end up being a discussion because I actually think Canelo's going to. I think he's going to either fight Bivol next, and I think he has legitimate interest in fighting David Benavidez. I really do. And David Benavidez still looks good because at the end of the day, if you ain't got the stamina, I mean, he can fuck you up. Benavidez.
Oh, definitely.
And Canelo has waned in terms of his stamina in the past. So we'll see what ends up happening if those guys were to ever get in the rings. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section. Should Canelo give up the title, or do you think Canelo is even going to face David Benavidez if he doesn't get Bivol? But I actually think he's probably going to get both. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, L Sports Media, and we are out.
Paid.